Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome the kids that are joining us today for this great day. And I want to welcome Junuen, who's going to be singing for us. She came all from Mexico City, and she is from here, from San Miguel. She is amazing. So let's... welcome to Sunday morning service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of San Miguel de Allende. We are so fortunate to be together both in person and via Zoom. Wherever you are from, whatever your religious background or lack of one, whoever you love, you can bring your whole self here. Today, I, another two members of the fellowship, Nora Cohen, Mama Nora, and Geyer will share reflection on mothering and also celebrate our children that are in their final class of the year. I asked for applause for them, they're great, okay? Also, we have some announcements. Our flowers today are provided by Cynthia Sterling and will be given to a person chosen by the care team. If you would like to provide flowers, please speak with our head usher, Diana, which is in the back. She's a beautiful flowers on her head today. Say hi, Diana. So anyone that wants to help in ushering in flowers, she is the one. After the service on Zoom, we're invited to stay connected and visit with others in the main room for discussion. And those who are with us here in the Aldea can join us for coffee and cookies in this beautiful part. Everything is ready to join. If we have any visitors here today, will you please stand so we can hear who you are and personally greet you and ask you where are you from at the coffee hour at the end of the service. So everybody who's visitor today can please stand up to just look at you a little briefly. Yes, welcome everybody. Okay, you can see, thank you. Okay, if it's any visitors on Zoom, please put your name in the chat box so we can say hi to you after the service. We will love always meet new people, okay? And we record our Sunday in-person services. If you want to see it again, please go to the website UUFSMA.org. It's important, don't forget the org. Click in services and then previous services. While on the website, also you can check the various events the fellowship is hosting and arranging for everybody. And also the information how to become a member. Okay, thank you, and I'm going to give the word to Anne. Yes. I'm going to introduce our beautiful Anne. She is and has been in charge of the kids and all this beautiful project about the young explorers.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today we have our children here. First, let me tell you, I'm going to do, because most of our kids are only Spanish speaking, so I'm going to give my opening words a little bit in English, a little bit in Spanish, but it won't be long, I promise. Okay, today we have our children here for their last class of the year. And after the service, we're going to get to see the wonderful project that they've been working on all year. As always, when they're here, we'll participate together, but they will participate with us in our chalice lighting and the Children's Covenant, which is accompanied by little hand gestures. The words will appear on the screen, and at that time, then I will lead us and the children in the Spanish translation of them. Hoy tenemos aquí a nuestros niños maravillosos para su última clase del año. ¡Yay! Después del servicio veremos un proyecto maravilloso en el que han estado trabajando todo el transcurso del año. Como siempre que estén aquí, participaremos juntos en la iluminación del cáliz y en el convenio de los niños, acompañados por los gestos de las manos que ellos conocen muy bien. Las palabras van a aparecer en la pantalla. Luego nos guiaré yo a nosotros y a los niños en la traducción al español. Okay, you'll see the words on the screen and wait for the subtitles. Okay, so let's see. I'm just watching here. Okay, there we go. Primero lo voy a decir en inglés y luego en español, niños, okay? We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. Iluminamos este cáliz para celebrar el unitario universalismo. This is the place of the open mind. Este es el lugar de la mente abierta. Okay? This is the place of the helping hands. Este es el lugar de las manos que ayudan. This is the place of the loving heart. Este es el lugar del corazón amoroso. Together we care for each other, for the earth, and we work for friendship and peace in the world. Juntos nos cuidamos unos a otros, cuidamos la tierra y trabajamos por la amistad y la paz en nuestro mundo. Ahora Paula, gracias. Paula va a iluminar el cáliz de grandes. She's going to write the adult chalice, and then the children, let's see, I'm wondering if someone can come up, maybe Carla, to help them light their chalice. And then what happens is, then we take their little chalice with this same flame from the congregation back to our classroom to continue working. Okay? ¿Sí? ¿Quieres, hijo? Muy bien, hijo. Bien hecho, mi amor. Excelente. Okay. And now we're going to sing the children out. Please remain seated, everyone. The words will appear on the screen. And please sing the Spanish lyrics that you see on the video the first time through so that all of the children understand the lyrics. Okay. And it's Go Now in Peace.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May this song of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May this song of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
As our opening words, let's join our voices together in the response regarding 7:15. Words will appear on the screen, and I will read the blue. Please respond to reading in the brown print. Okay. Your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of the life longing for itself.
They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you.
You might give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts.
You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams.
You might strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday.
You are the toes from which your children, as big arrows, are sent forth.
The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and bends with you my thought the arrows may go to sweet and far.
Let your beckoning the archer's hand be for gladness.
Thank you.
And now I invite you to join together in reciting this fellowship's unique covenant, our promise of how we are in relation to each other and the world. Please rise in body or spirit. The words will appear on the screen. I will lead you in English, and then Paula Turando will lead us in Spanish. We respect the interdependent web of life and work for a just and peaceful world. We encourage the search for truth and meaning, strive for compassion in our relationships, and seek values that will benefit our lives and the lives of others. This is our covenant.
Respetamos todos los estilos de vida dentro de su red interdependiente y trabajamos por un mundo justo y pacífico. Alentamos la búsqueda de la verdad y la comprensión total. Nos esforzamos por mantener compasión en nuestras relaciones y buscamos valores que beneficien nuestras vidas y las vidas de los demás. Este es nuestro convenio.
Thank you. Please be seated. This is the time in our service when members and friends share significant joys, sorrows, and concerns with the community. For each one, we light a candle representing that the joy or concern is held by everyone in the community this morning. If you'd like to share a joy or concern, in general, you can send it during the week to Reverend Tom Rosiello, or on the morning, we have index cards here, and if you are legible, I will read them. And if you're on Zoom, please feel free to write one in the chat box. We start with a candle of appreciation for all mothers and those who have been like mothers to us. Now, for many, Mother's Day is a time of sorrow for various reasons. So for all those in pain on this day, we light a candle of love and support. We have a report on our member Donna Schubrooks from Mis Hermanas. Margot, Veronica, and Hillary videoed with her. She is out of the hospital at a friend's home. They had a video chat. She smiled a lot despite an enormously stiff neck brace, and she is going to be starting chemo this week. So we wish her muy buena suerte and love as she undergoes this treatment. Candle for continued concern for Robin Loving, who's healing after surgery for a broken arm, but was just told it's going to be another 6-week delay, that she has to stay in Texas. And we have a candle of joy and hope for Dick Snyder, who reports follow-up medical tests showed him cancer-free, upbeat, and taking care of other medical issues. And I have a candle of joy for Danny and me, for our dear friend in Charlotte, who after much chemo, brain surgery, bone marrow transplant, is doing well, walking 4 miles a day, and brain scan shows no cancer. So. And a candle of joy for my husband, Dan Newspiel, who is celebrating a healthy birthday tomorrow. And from this morning, we have a candle of joy from Linda Soren, grateful to be the mother of 2 great children and 4 wonderful grandchildren, and a candle of concern for Erica, who is in jail and has mental health issues. May she find caring people who will help her stabilize her condition. And let me check the chat box. Okay, nothing in chat. So as we do every week for way too long, we light the blue and yellow candle for all who have suffered and are suffering from the relentless war in Ukraine and all those affected. And our last candle is for all of the joys and concerns that are held in our hearts in this room but have not been spoken today. Thank you. And now, during the musical meditation, you're invited to come up in 2 lines to silently light a candle for any joy or concern that you hold dear. Thank you, Nora. Beautiful. Our offering words, once again, are adapted from Kristen Collins. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something larger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space and social justice. And we give with the faith that together we have enough. The offering will now be gratefully received.
Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears.
what might happen. Imagine, Rachel Gilder. I will to start with a very peculiar anecdote from my childhood for a Mother's Day festival. The children in my group, we have to sing a song by Juan Gabriel called Amor Eterno, a song about his dead mother. And between verses of this song, we will have to declare a poem about how much we love Mom. The fourth-grade girl did not expect to see her mother in the front row, 3 meters in front of her, and into the side, her good mother, Mother Chui. At that time, she was in charge of an orphanage. Of course, something happened to remember. I started crying as my mother had died, and the song was greeting for that specific feeling. As expected, the tears started coming one after the other, forgetting there was a public event, a celebration. As expected, moms that didn't know me or my mother, they came to the conclusion that I was an orphan. Since then, my mother has to make sure that that stranger little person who is now in front of you is her daughter. And this daughter had a lot of madre. Having said this, I want to introduce myself and my vulnerability on this issue. I cannot present myself as an expert in maternity, but I have enough time to understand that I'm on a complex, thorny path and does not look like a gender role or traditional role says. About being always patient, understanding, and lover mother, which will do everything for the babies. By the way, the idea of calling motherhood seems more realistic to me, since the diversity of us people can be considered there. The concept of motherhood is variable and diverse, full of expectations that can become impossible in one extreme. Maternity should be an option, and it's important that we continue to provide this possibility to more women in the world. The possibility of choosing this role can be the difference between understanding, accepting the process, and even enjoying the process. Or the other opposite way could be the most terrible experience for a person. I must confess that for me the UU is like this mother who seeks to nourish in the spirit, regardless of what I need or seek in this idea of spirituality. The care of the care team, also feeding us with coffee and cookies, the program of adult educations and the workshops like all things, to seek a better understanding, dialogue, or even encourage discussion sometimes. This motherhood that seeks to share our joys and concerns, letting us know, accompanied but independent, empowered by groups like the woman in the UU, with the structure and organization that has allowed it to continue to function. The more than one has to come to learn that not only our reality is that justified the existence of this institution, like from Foucault's perspective, supporting the diversity of the LGBT community that finds a safe space, like a mother's hug. In my perspective, this is possible only that we seek the dignity of people, we fight for human rights, and we respect our independent web of network. Having made this confession, I want to invite you to think about the concept of motherhood. Not necessarily remember our mothers, but rather the idea that we've been building around this concept. Does the motherhood smell like something? Does it give us a pleasant or an unpleasant feeling? Raise doubts? Does this world generate a discussion in our social circle? Does it create a smile in our faces or no? I reiterate, this concept is diverse, even as old as caring of our hatchlings, and it continues to evolve as the history in the world changes. The weight of the ideas that we'll build around motherhoods definitely can and does change in the world, one child at a time. Raising around the culture of peace, being in touch with our feelings and emotions, and the love for others can impact generations. As well, normalize hate speech, gender stereotypes, or ideas of discrimination. But let's not fall into the trap that only this role corresponds to this world. This is work for all who are in contact with others, especially those who are in the acquisition of ideas to form a perspective in life. In me, motherhood has been strongly influenced by figures in my culture, such as Virgin of Guadalupe, Mother of the Mexicans, or Libertad Lamarque, who is not Mexican, but she made so many films about motherhood and the idea of suffering it. The Virgin Mary as well, the Mother of Jesus. And in my individual perspective, I've been influenced by feminism, philosophy, and psychology, who try to give me a jolt of reality. This only raised more questions on me. Are we doing it right? Will be appropriate? How much trauma will be enough, and when is too much for a child? Now I understand that if we manage to question ourselves, we're doing it right. If we can rectify or apologize, we are doing it right. Motherhood doesn't not came with a manual or recipe, but came with a lot of wisdom for all our ancestors. Ask ourselves if we're bad mothers for breaking the roles that motherhood has been established, not for being able to handle everything every day, for accepting that we're tired and we want a hot meal time by time, that we want that candy or fast food, or an afternoon not having the perfect house, and even knowing the bathroom is not where we should cry when we're exhausted or frustrated. Being a bad mother is now something that seeks to change the roles that has been assigned to us, realizing that we need a community and a collectivity to raise. We need more adults who empathize with the difficult task of being patient with the little people who are learning about the world, who can be distracted admiring or marveling things that we don't longer pay attention as adults. We need more people without being fearless of being empathetic, without judging from what we believe. People who are more tolerant of childhood times and the mothers who have to accompany them. We need more mothers who are bad mothers, who question this and politicize, defending our rights as mothers and the rights of their children, our children. Yes, maternity is a political act which requires to us to take a position when we're exercising it. Like when we proudly show ourselves to be pro-rights or pro-organizations and do something about it, not just talk in social networks. Being a mad mother questions motherhood to open the conversation about our maternity. Those that break the stereotypes that make us to believe there is only one way to become a mother, and those mothers that will be even when our children are not longer in our physical plane. Those mothers of the disappeared, those mothers, those ones who migrate, or the mothers for all these migrants, who adopt, the ones who raise, who becomes a mother of the children who are not fully accepted in their own homes. Endless possibilities like that. Like the traditional role requires, we also love, and we need a lot of empathy from those around. As a bad mother with a community online, I found 10 points that has been helping me a lot of how to become a bad mother and the bad motherhoods, and I want to share with all of you. Number 1, you will never judge another bad mother, never judge anyone. You will never live your maternity like others. You live yours with the greatest possible freedom. You will not lose your identity as a woman, even if it costs you a lot a lot. You will demystify the motherhood wherever you go. And you will not believe you are a superwoman. You're human. You will send your blame elsewhere, and if you can, you live with it. That cannot stop you. You need to take care of yourself with guilt, do it. The guilt is going to stay there, but do it, please. You will be a bad mom whenever you can. If there are plans to do it, do it. You want to play with the neighbors, do it. You want to cook something different, do it. You will team up with whoever you can. The school moms, the neighbors, your friend, everybody can help you to raise this network. You will fight not to give up on yourself, your goals, and your dreams as a person. And you will never forget that you are the best mother for you and your children. Don't forget that. So today, I just want to thank you for all these excellent moms, the good moms, the bad ones, all kind, who, with their dedication, have made this world as we have it, to who they have put love and tenderness. Also those who have played the roles of motherhood, protecting, seeking education, opportunities, food, and love for childhoods. The world is a more beautiful place with all of you. Thank you. Now, I want to introduce the wise words of our dear Mama Nora.
Hi, I'm Nora Cohen. You know me as the Cookie Lady. My mother was the perfect mom for me. I knew from the day I was born that she loved me unconditionally. She encouraged me to be and do anything I wanted. She offered me tools to create. That box of 48 crayons was magic. Gave me lots of physical comfort and loving, set limits, and modeled kindness and caring blended with a social justice perspective. She became a school nurse. I remember her coming home crying about the children who had not had breakfast, therefore unable to learn. She started a school breakfast program for them that became adopted in Philadelphia schools. I think she imparted UU values to me then without being a UU. But she did not focus on teaching me about clothing, hair, or appearance. We were poor. I never got a store-bought dress until I was 11, but we had art, ballet, and music lessons to stimulate our minds and bodies. And the Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls she made my sister and me for Christmas were almost as good as the doll with eyes that opened and closed she could not afford. Mom told me how much she loved me in those gifts and the lessons. I wish that I could be half the strong, caring woman she was. I tried to do the same for my two wonderful children, now 47 and 44. How did they get to be so old? That my mother did for me. I wanted them with a passion. When my first child was born and I held him the first time, his little head cradled in my hand, his body extended over my arm, I felt my mother holding me and the generations before her holding their new infants. I love nursing and nurturing those babies, encouraging them, sharing values. I wanted them to experience freedom and to explore their worlds. Watching my daughter race on her horse with the neighbor's kids' motorcycles, her hair and horse mane flying. Maybe I focused too much on stimulating their intelligence. I started the programs for gifted students for Philadelphia schools and was asked too often if they were reading yet when they couldn't yet sit unassisted. Or I did not play with them enough. I was in a doctoral program and focused too much on my own work. But they have turned out to be loving, caring human beings that share my UU values despite my own limitations. I am proud to be their mom. As an educator, I know the problems children face: bullying, being different, not having the qualities needed to meet an aspiration, wearing glasses, not being able to hear. I write bilingual children's books to help kids cope with these difficulties. I also try to teach them things about rural poverty, making a garden, various occupations, being friends. I wrote a baby bedtime story about all the tender things a mama does to put a little one to sleep, called Cover Me Mama. I think these books are a way of mothering both parents and kids beyond my own 2 children. I am Mama Nora to my Mexican neighbors and friends. I love that role, encouraging them, helping them to grow, offering love and care and food. I hope my bilingual children's books convey the mothering values I hold dear. Maybe being a cookie lady is a kind of mothering, too. Now let's join our voices together in song, hymn number 109, As We Go Marching, Marching. I invite you to rise as you're willing and able.
As we go marching, marching in the beauty of the day, 1,000,000 darkened kitchens, 1,000 mill lofts gray, are touched with all the radiance that a sudden sun discloses. For the people hear us singing, bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, we battle too for men. For they are women's children, and we mother them again. Our lives shall not be sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts starve as well as bodies. Give us bread, but give us roses. As we go marching, marching, unnumbered women dead go crying through our singing their ancient call for bread. Small art and love and beauty, their drudging spirits new. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too. As we go marching, marching, we bring the greater days. The rising of the women means the rising of the race. No more the drudge and idler in that toil where one reposes, but a sharing of life's glories, bread and roses, bread and roses.
Can you sit, please? Now, I want to introduce our last speaker, Geyer. As a beautiful lady, the mom of 2 amazing kids, a former journalist, public relations professional, and long-time social justice advocate. She has traveled worldwide, maintains a home in San Miguel, and calls Mexico City the center of the universe. She has worked in our UU Children's program through all the year. And you can see her. Welcome, and let's welcome all the kids from the program.
Gracias. Gracias. Okay. Well, I'm going to give my reflection on motherhood now, or one of them. I have loved children ever since I was a child myself. Growing up in Panorama City, California, I eagerly awaited each new baby Mom brought home from the hospital. That happened quite frequently during my childhood, and the excitement of having a newborn, then a crawler, then a toddler, brought me so much joy. I had a passel of nieces and nephews, and my friends' kids to dote on until I became a mother, which actually didn't happen until my late 40s. While I never wanted a career as a teacher, I always loved interacting with children in an educational capacity, reading to them, helping them with homework, and especially teaching and talking to them about values. Ahora en español para los chicos. Me encantaban los niños desde que yo misma era una niña. Mientras crecía en Panorama City, California, esperaba ansiosamente a cada nuevo bebé que mi mamá trajera del hospital. Eso sucedía con bastante frecuencia durante mi niñez, y la emoción de tener un recién nacido, luego un gateador, luego un niño pequeño, me llenaba de alegría. Aunque no me convertí en madre hasta finales de mis 40 años, tenía un montón de sobrinos y los hijos de mis amigos para adorar hasta entonces. Si bien nunca quería una carrera de maestra, siempre me encantaba interactuar con los niños en una capacidad educativa, leerles, ayudarles con la tarea y especialmente enseñarles y hablarles sobre valores. In 1999, I was introduced to Unitarian Universalism. Wow! It was not only the most relevant and spiritually fulfilling religion I could ever imagine, it also gave me the opportunity to teach values to children as a religious education teacher. Fast forward to 2020 and the start of the pandemic. I saw that the UUFSMA, a congregation I'd only visited sporadically, was offering Sunday services on Zoom. So I started Zooming in, and before long, I decided to join. The new member form had a spot to check activities of interest. I checked the children's program, and when in-person services resumed, Chris Chase asked me if I was interested in teaching. I was, actually. And last summer, Chris, Susan, and I collaborated to design our Young Explorers program. Since September, our student body has grown from 2 students to 12. We are so proud of our smart, kind, and talented young explorers. We've had a great time with them this year and look forward to teaching them again in September. In closing, except for, wait, we have to do the Spanish version, but in closing, in English, I want to recognize and thank our amazing co-teachers, Susan McDonald, Chris Chase, and Lourdes Leon. Lourdes, who is our only native Spanish speaker, and very courageously stepped in to help us when I had to be in Houston for a few months. We thank them for their hard work and dedication to our students. As a community, we all strive to mother our students, our RE kids, as well as teach them. Niños, esta parte es para ustedes. En 1999 conocí el unitario universalismo. Igual, no solo era la religión más relevante y espiritualmente satisfactoria que jamás pudiera imaginar, sino que también me dio la oportunidad de enseñar valores a los niños como maestra de educación religiosa. Avancemos hasta 2020 y el comienzo de la pandemia. Vi que la UUFSMA, una congregación que solo había visitado esporádicamente, ofrecía servicios dominicales en Zoom. Así que empecé a acercarme y en poco tiempo decidí unirme. En el formulario para nuevos miembros había un espacio para marcar las actividades de interés. Marqué el programa infantil y cuando se reanudaron los servicios en persona, Chris Chase me habló y me preguntó si me interesaba enseñar. Pues sí, tenía interés, quería hacerlo. Y el verano pasado, Chris, Susan y yo colaboramos para diseñar nuestro programa Jóvenes Exploradores. Desde septiembre, nuestro cuerpo estudiantil ha crecido de 2 estudiantes a 12, right? Oh no, and if I do that, I lose my place. Estamos muy orgullosos de nuestros inteligentes, amables y talentosos jóvenes exploradores. Nos lo hemos pasado muy bien con ellos este año y esperamos enseñarles de nuevo en septiembre. Para terminar, quiero reconocer y agradecer a nuestros increíbles comaestras Susan McDonald, Chris Chase y Lourdes León, nuestra única hispanoparlante nativa, por su trabajo y dedicación a nuestros alumnos. Como comunidad, todos nos esforzamos por ser madres de nuestros niños aquí, de sus alumnos, así como enseñarles. Muchas gracias. Ahora vamos a tener nuestras palabras de cerrar y vamos a apagar el cáliz. Déjame ver. Extinguishing the chalice. Okay. Okay. Muchas gracias, Paola. Es mi primera vez de conocer a Paola en persona. Okay. Voy a hacerlo primero en inglés y luego en español. We extinguish the chalice flame, but not the light of love that we hold in our heart. Apagamos la llama del cáliz, pero no la luz de amor que queda en nuestros corazones. And muchas gracias. What I want to tell you now is the children have brought in their mandalas that deal with the whole 7 principles, and we would very much like you to take a look at them during the coffee hour. Okay? Thank you so much.